Hey my friends, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. I want to quickly say thank you. Yesterday we hit 170,000 subscribers right before the end of 2022, and that's really motivating for me to try and hit that goal of 200,000 subscribers in 2023. Thank you guys so much for always liking and subscribing and commenting and sharing. It really does help me out so much, and I'm just really grateful for all of the support that you guys have shown me as of late and just over the years in general. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit emotional. Today we are talking about what in my opinion might be the best shotgun in the game now, possibly the very best exotic shotgun in the game, and it's just very hard to look away from this shotgun right now and not consider it. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Duality. The question becomes whether or not to fire, not where to aim. That is what Osiris says about this slug shotgun. And you can see here on Black Wings, final blows grant a stacking precision damage and reload speed buff. If you guys don't know, Duality basically works like this. When you hip fire, it is a precision frame shotgun, and when you ADS, it is a slug shotgun. That is what the name of the game is with this shotgun. And with those recent spread changes, Duality has been given the precision frame spread, which is by far the best pellet spread. And that is why precision frame shotguns like, say for example, the Matador are meta right now. It kills at around 5 to 6 meters with hip fire, and with ADS slug shots you can kill them at around 9 to 10 meters. Weapons as exotic as it gets. That's why I have almost 15,000 kills on the Duality, guys. There is not another gun in the game that offers this level of versatility and utility, and my friends, ladies and gentlemen, this is Duality. So I think the main reason why you really want to consider this weapon now, if you haven't in previous times, is because of that spread change. Now, every time you shoot this thing from the hip, it's going to fire the same exact pellet spread every single time. And like I said, it's the precision pellet spread. And that pellet spread is an oval shape, which is basically shaped like a guardian. So what that means is if your aiming is even slightly accurate, a lot of those pellets are going to hit your target. And you know, I think in previous times, Duality's always been a fantastic weapon. It really always has been brilliant. And you could say it's been much better, you know, in previous times where it had way more range, especially when you're ADSing it. You could kill people at like, I don't know, 12, 13 meters before. Now you'd be lucky to get a kill at 10 meters. 9 meters is more your sweet spot that you want to be in when you're trying to get a slug headshot kill with this gun. 9 meters is still a hell of a lot of range, mind you. So don't don't let that think that it's terrible. But now that you have a consistent pellet spread on the hip fire shot, the hip fire has essentially been buffed massively. Like, it is so reliable for putting out big damage now. And you know, having the choice of being able to go for range with the slug and then going up close with consistency up close now with the Duality means that it is really hard to look beyond this shotgun. I know a lot of people are liking Matador at the moment, myself included. I'm absolutely enjoying Matador a hell of a lot. However, I think the overall base range on pellet shotguns is still a touch too low. There are going to be times where, even though we've got perfect pellet spread, there are times where you will not get that kill that you need. And sometimes the pellet shotties will still let you down, especially if you haven't applied a very healthy amount of chip damage to your opponent. That is what makes the Duality special, because those rules don't apply to this weapon. If you need that deep one-hit kill with your shotgun, then the Duality can get that done. The only catch is you need to be precise and hit them in the head, which is a fair trade for all of that extra range, I would say. But if they're right up in your face, you can fire off a hip fire shot, and 100 resilience or no at 5 meters, if you hit that shot with the hip fire, they're going down guaranteed. Now, there are two things that are working against the Duality right now, but in the future will not be a problem. And that is why I recommend getting used to Duality now, because I feel like there are some changes coming in Lightfall that are going to solidify this shotgun as the meta. So it's very good now. I'd say it's easily top 3 shotties in the game. You can make an argument that it's a top shotgun in the game right now, but when these changes come in Lightfall, it is going to be the best shotgun in the game. So what am I talking about? Well, it's an exotic weapon and it's an exotic special weapon, and so the airborne effectiveness on this weapon is at 1. It's very low, and so that particularly causes a problem for the slug shot. If you are off the ground when you're attempting the slug shot, it is not going to get the job done. But as you can see there with the sliding and the hip firing, well, we took out the entire team. It is absolutely brilliant. The hip fire seems to be less affected by the AE, but currently going for a slug shot in the air is a dice roll. So you have to apply a grounded playstyle right now if you're going to be successful. However, There was a firing range podcast a couple of weeks back, and Chris Proctor, the weapons guy, he basically said that slug shotguns are going to be getting a buff as far as AE goes, coming with Lightfall. And since Duality is both a pellet and a slug, basically means that by the time these buffs go into place, both the hipfire functionality of Duality has been buffed by the virtue of the fact that it now shares the fixed pellet spread of precision shotguns, which is the best spread in the game, like I said. And on top of that, slugs are going to get an AE buff, and they're going to be much more accurate in the air. So when that goes into place, it's been buffed in both modes. The hipfire has been buffed and the slug is going to be buffed. And when all of that comes together, you are going to have it's going to be monstrous, I think. I think it's going to be monstrous. I think it's going to, I don't think Duality, we've never had a Duality meta. Big part of that has always been the Chaperone sort of just looming over the Duality, right? Because Duality had the hipfire, which was okay before. It was like, it was decent, but the slug just could not compare to Chaperone. Now the base range of Chaperone and Duality are actually pretty close. But when you proc Roadborne on Chaperone, it still outclasses the slug shot of Duality by quite a wide margin. However, it suffers from the same issues with AE. You could argue it suffers even more from AE because it doesn't have that hipfire functionality. With the hipfire, with all those extra pellets, they're not all going to miss. Whereas with the slug shot, if that one slug misses, you are in big trouble, right? You are stuck up shit creek without a paddle when that happens. With the Duality, even if AE does work against you, half your pellets might hit, and that might do half your enemy's health, and that might be all you need in that particular moment. So Duality at the minute, I think might actually be better than the Chaperone, and I think when those changes get put in place, it will absolutely be better than the Chaperone. Point is, my friends, Duality is absolutely disgusting. And you know what, man, I realized how much I used Duality when I picked it back up and I saw I had 14,000 kills on the tracker. I'm like, damn, I use Duality a hell of a lot. And on top of that, I get to pair it up with my favorite hand cannon, which right now is the IS Luna. I've also got the Rose that I'm grinding for, which I still haven't got. So, expect to see some Duality in my back pocket for sure. I have definitely been going back to Chaperone and Duality as of late. I've been sniping a little bit. I made my build video yesterday. So those of you who are curious about my overall setup and my stat spread and all of that sort of thing, you need to check out yesterday's video because I go over everything, including the exotics I've changed to. One-Eyed Mask might be going away for a while. And again, this build that I'm using, I went over it in yesterday's video and it works perfectly fine with the Duality or with the Chaperone. And for me, I don't think I'm seeing enough Dualities out there in the field. Yes, you can get a Matador from Atrax, and obviously, is it Atrax? Oh, listen, I don't know what the bosses are called. You guys know I don't know what's going on in PvE. Yeah, listen, whatever, man. Anyway, point is, you can farm and maybe RNG will bless you with a good Matador, or you could just use Duality and get that extra crispy hipfire precision frame accuracy whilst also being able to dome people in the face from a distance with the slug. Duality, my friends. The name kind of gives it away, doesn't it? Anyway, that is the end of the video, my friends. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for all your support, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.